You want to start sewing your own clothes or sewing for others? I get it. But before you jump into sewing, here are a few things you need to know or you need to have so that you can enjoy your sewing journey. Now, the first thing you need to know is you want to ask yourself, what is the reason why you really want to learn sewing? Because the sewing journey can be overwhelming and frustrating at times, but your why or the reason why you decided to learn how to sew is what will keep motivating you to continue without giving up. So for me, I decided to learn sewing because I find it really hard to get clothes that fit my unique body well. Now my arms are really very big, my tummy is big as well, and I've got huge thighs. So whenever I buy clothes that are meant to be my size, most times they don't fit my arms at all. They are usually very tight. Now when I buy clothes that are oversized, now they fit my arms, but the other part of the body is shapeless. So I always have to send them for alterations, and that's some extra cash. And sometimes it really doesn't even come out very well or the way I want it. So I decided to learn sewing so that I'll be able to sew my own clothes. Now, this may be you as well. It could be that your clothes do not fit very well. That's why you want to learn sewing. Or it could be that you want to make money from sewing, just as I am doing now. This wasn't my initial goal when I started learning how to sew, but it could be that you want to learn how to sew so that you can make money, or so that you can save money from buying clothes, or you just don't want to support fast fashion. I get it. Or it could also be that you just want to learn it as a hobby. Now, whatever your reasons for learning sewing are, make sure that your reasons are strong enough to keep you going when the going gets tough, because it will. Okay? Now, the next thing you need to know and decide is, what type of clothes would you like to be making? Now, are they everyday clothes like dresses, skirts, tops, pants, and things like that? Or would you like to be sewing occasion clothes like corsets, dinner dresses, wedding dresses, and things like that? Or do you want to learn how to make accessories like bags, hats, hair ruffles, and things like that? Or do you just want to make streetwear? Now you need to decide exactly what you want to learn to make. It will help you to be focused. Okay? Now once you have decided all of this, now what you want to make, what you want to learn how to sew, and you have also decided your reason why you want to learn sewing, then you can now plan on how you are going to achieve them. And achieving them includes the tools you will need to learn sewing, how you are going to learn sewing, and where you are going to learn sewing from. Now don't worry, I'm going to break these three important things down. First of all, let's talk about the tools you will need to start sewing as a beginner. So the first tool on the list would be the sewing machine. So as a beginner, you don't need a sewing machine that is too fancy or complicated. You just need a sewing machine that is simple, that can sew straight stitches, that can sew zigzag, and then make buttonholes. That's basically all you need for now. You don't need to buy any expensive machine for now. You can do that much later as you progress in sewing, but you may not even need it depending on what type of things you're going to make. You may really not need those expensive machines. Okay? Now, to know what brand of machine you will need to buy, you can go for those big brands like Singer, like Brother, Janome, brands like that. Those big brands, they also usually have affordable machine, the smaller ones that are affordable. Now this is a Brother, you see, this is a Brother CS70. Now this machine is really quite affordable, and I've got this machine say about 8 years ago, and it is still going very strong. It's got all the features that I need. In fact, more than the features that I need. You see, it has a lot of things that it can do. I basically don't even use them. I only use them for sewing. I only use it for sewing straight stitches, and then maybe buttonholes at times, and then zigzag. That's basically what I still need this sewing machine for. All these other decorative stitches and all of that, I really don't need them. So I found a slightly higher version of this. I think it's a Brother CS7000X. It's slightly more pricey than this one. It's also got more features. Now you can check it out if you are interested. I couldn't find this one, this CS70. You can check it out if you are interested. The link will be in the description box below. So after getting your sewing machine, I recommend that you get extra packs of sewing needles. You will need them because you're most likely going to break your needles when you are trying to figure out how to use your sewing machine. And even if you don't break your needles, you will need extra packs of needles. All right? Okay. Now, another very important tool that you need along with your sewing machine is the zipper foot. You see the zipper foot? This is the one for the Brother CS70. Now, some machines, they come with a zipper foot. This foot is used for installing zippers. Now, some other machines, they don't come with zipper foot. You need to buy the zipper foot with your machine model. So this one, I had to buy it separately. They are not very expensive, they are affordable. So make sure you get this because you will definitely need this, except you don't want to sew professionally. If you want to install zipper very well, you will need this little thing. It's a game changer and you will not stress at all. So get a zipper foot. It's different for different machine models. So please take note of that when you are getting your own zipper foot. Okay? Now, other tools that you will need for as a beginner, you will need your measuring tape. Okay, so get one. Please get the one that has centimeters and inches. It helps a lot. So you have centimeters on one side and then you have inches on the other side. Another tool you will need is your scissors. Now you will need your scissors, one for fabric and another one for paper. Please, it's very important for you to get 2 pairs of scissors. You see, I use a smaller one for paper and I use a bigger one for fabric. Now get one that is slightly okay for fabric, because when you buy the really thin ones and cheaper ones, before you know it, they get very blunt. I've been using this for a couple of years now and it's still going on very well. So get a pair of scissors that is really nice. The reason why you don't use the one for fabric for paper is because when you use the fabric scissors for paper, it is going to get blunt and you don't want that. So that is why many sewists, you hear them say, don't use my fabric scissors for paper. Okay, good. Now if you don't want to use the scissors, if you don't want a scissors kind of slows you down anyway. For me, that's my own opinion. You can use the rotary cutters. This is what I use and I really love them. This one is for fabric and while this one is for paper. Well, there's no difference, just that this is a smaller one. I prefer this smaller one for paper and this slightly bigger one for fabric. Okay, so get them. It saves you a lot of time. But if you can't afford this yet, then get a pair of scissors. Okay, now the other things you will need are your pen and your pencil. You probably already have these ones at home because you will need them for making patterns. Okay, and then you will need this one. Is very important. Is you use it for snipping your threads. When you're sewing, you just put it by the side of your sewing machine and then you use it to snip off those loose threads around your garment that you are making. It goes into little corners more than the scissors, so I really like to use this. It's very handy. Another thing you will need is your serrated tracing wheel. You will need this for tracing out patterns. It helps a lot, so you need this as well. Then another thing is your fabric pen or your chalk. This is a chalk. It's like a pencil, but it's actually a chalk. So I like it because I can easily sharpen it and then use it. And this one is a fabric pen. I really love this because it doesn't stain. So check it out. Test it on a scrap fabric, the ones you buy, to see if they stain or not. This one doesn't, it doesn't leave marks. It's really very important for you to check that. Then what else have I not mentioned? Then you also need your hand sewing needles. Okay, so they are great for when you need to sew on buttons or things like that. Oh, and one very important tool that you need is your seam ripper. This one you cannot do without it. You need your seam ripper. I still use seam ripper till date. You need it when you make mistakes or things like that. You use it to remove your stitches and restitch. So you will need this one for life. Okay, then you need your threads as well. Threads are very important. Okay, now I have a pack of threads like this. You can buy the bigger ones if you can afford them. If you cannot, just get, since you're just starting off, you can just get little ones like this. Now for threads, I recommend this Gutermann thread. It's one of the best threads I've ever used. Now they don't break, so be careful when you buy your threads. They are a little bit pricey, they're more expensive than some other ones, but it is worth it because you don't get frustrated using it. This one. Okay, then you need your pins. You see, your fine pins. Buy fine pins. Good. Then you can get a magnet. This is a magnetic candy where you can just, so that your pins, they don't all get missing. This is optional though, but I like to have it. Okay, and then of course, if you want to draft your own patterns, you will need your pattern paper. This one, I get them in rolls because one, they are cheaper, and two, you can actually draft larger patterns on them, and they are more convenient anyways. So you also need your rulers. You need your set of rulers. You need your curve rulers for drawing necklines, armholes, all kinds of curves. You need your curve rulers. And then you need your graduated rulers. This is a meter rule. I only use this. This one is not graduated, graded rather, not graduated, graded meter rule. The reason why this is really very nice is because you can use it to add your seam allowance very easily. You see, so graded meter rule. So you need this as well. Now, instead of getting a lot of curves, if you're low on budget and you don't want to get, maybe you don't want to get these and the graded ruler, you can just get your pattern master. This one does all the work. You see the curve here, you see this one, then it's also graded as well. So you have like all those three in one like this. This is called the pattern master. You can just buy this alone. Okay, good. And another very important tool that you need is your pressing iron. I'm sure you already have this at home. You don't need anything complicated. As long as it's a steam iron and it can press very well, that's all you need for now. Okay? And then, lastly, let me not forget, you will need fabric. Now, when you're buying fabric, please, I advise that you buy fabric that are easier to work with as a beginner so you don't get too frustrated. You need cotton fabrics. Cotton fabrics are great to work with as a beginner. They are very easy, they are not stretchy, they are very easy. Don't buy fabrics that are stretchy. You see these ones? You need some bit of sewing experience to be able to use some stretchy fabrics. You know, stretchy fabrics, slippery fabrics, fabrics like that, they are so difficult to use, or sequins or leather. Don't buy those kind of fabrics now. You're going to use them much later, but for now, as a beginner, get something that's easy to work with so that you will enjoy your sewing. Okay, you don't want to start getting frustrated this early. So get cotton fabrics, linen fabrics. Yeah, those are easy fabrics that you can work with. They are not the greatest kind of fabrics though, they are not the most beautiful kind of fabrics though, but they are a good place to start from. All right, So, and that brings us to how you want to learn sewing. Now, how you want to learn sewing means what method do you want to use to learn sewing? Do you want to use commercial patterns to learn, or do you just want to learn how to draft your own patterns from the scratch? Now, if you decide to use commercial patterns, you can start with very basic things like skirts. They are very easy and they are straightforward. But commercial patterns also have their downside anyways, because you also need to know how to, because they come in standard measurements, not your measurements. So you also need to learn how to alter them to fit your own body. All right, so it depends on you. So now, if you want to learn how to draft your own patterns, again, I always say start with simple projects. Don't start with things like pants. They are a little bit more difficult to fit and all of that. So start with very simple projects like skirts and tops. And then for you to start making like skirts and tops, you also need a template to do that. And those are basic blocks, like the basic skirt block and the basic bodice block, using your own measurements to do that. Now I have tutorials here where you can easily learn how to draft your skirt block and your basic bodice block. So this is how your basic bodice looks like. You have the front and then you have the back. And then for your skirt block, this is how your skirt block looks like. You have the front and then you have the back side. So if you need to learn how to draft your patterns, this is where you need to start from. Get this one, it will make your life a lot easier. Now I'm going to drop links of this tutorial below so you can go check them out and then make for yourself so that you can always modify this to create any style of your choice, okay, using your own measurement. All right, now once you've decided how you want to learn sewing, that brings us to where you want to learn sewing from. Now if you want to learn sewing here on YouTube, I advise that you take your time to select like 2 or 3 sewing tutors that you like and that make clothes related to what you are interested in, so that you can easily understand and so that you can easily follow what they are doing without you getting confused. Now when you start going here looking for several tutors and sewing tutors and following them, you may get confused. The reason is because every sewing tutor, they have their different methods of teaching. There is no one way that is correct. So everyone has their different ways of teaching. For example, if somebody teaches how to draft bodice block, basic bodice block, and you compare with another person, they are going to look very different. And although they are achieving same thing, but it's going to be really very different. So you're going to look for the tutors that you like their style of teaching, and then follow them accordingly. That way you will not be confused at all. Then when you have gone far in sewing, you can start following several other tutors and learn their different teaching styles and how they do things or how they make garments differently. You can learn this technique, you can learn this, then you can start learning a lot of them. But once you are just learning how to sew and you follow so many of them, trust me, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be confused and you're like, but I saw this person doing it this other way and I saw this person doing it this other way. Then your head is like, you are just really like overwhelmed and confused. So that is why I advise follow 2 or 3 tutors or maybe 4, and then if they are sewing or they are making something that is related to what you're interested in, follow them, master their style of teaching, and then learn from them. That way it will be easier for you to learn. And then when you have really learned, you can follow as many tutors as much as you like and learn their style. Okay, another thing that can also help you is you want to join sewing communities. Now there are some of them that are free on Facebook. You want to see those free ones, you want to join them, because there you're going to also learn, you're going to get inspired, you're going to get motivated, you're also going to see people who are like minds, people who are also interested in sewing just like you. You can also check other social medias like Instagram and like Instagram, maybe TikTok. Well, it depends on you. You can check other social media platforms where you can also learn. And then if you can afford it, pay for sewing classes. Really, either online or physical, anyone you can afford. They help you step by step to learn sewing. They shorten your sewing journey, your learning time. It shortens it a lot. They also help you learn faster because everything is in one place. So you learn step by step. Everything is arranged. You learn from this, move to this, move to this, so you are not confused and you're not overwhelmed. And also it helps you to learn a lot of details that may not generally be taught here on YouTube. So if you can afford it, I advise that you pay for sewing classes. I have an online class where I teach step by step from beginners, you go to intermediate to advanced, like that, where you can learn. I'll leave the link in the description box below. Now once you sign up for the online class, you also join our sewing community where you can ask questions, you can submit your projects, then you can also get answers to your questions. You're not just sewing, you're not just lost. You have me there always to assist you, to guide you without extra cost once you subscribe, and then we'll guide you gradually so that you will learn sewing very well in a professional way. So if you're interested, the link will be in the description box below. That is if you can afford it. If you cannot, why not continue with these YouTube videos, tutorials here? You're still going to learn from it. Okay, now so far I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned one or two things from what we have just talked about. If you do, please don't keep this to yourself. Please share with your other sewing buddies. Share with other people who you think may be interested in starting to learn sewing, so that they don't get confused and they are not running here and there. They know what to do before they start sewing. Okay, and again, give me a thumbs up, please. That's one way you can support us. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me hear your thoughts. You can also add to it too, please. Okay, and if you have not already subscribed yet, what are you still waiting for? Please hit that subscribe button now. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you again in my next video. All right, bye bye.